Hey guys, we're back. This is definitely gonna be the last 30 minutes of today's stream. Also, good news. Apparently, we're not leaving until Saturday, so Friday stream will commence as you. I should go. I feel like maybe she's just using terms that would help Shepard understand the culture better, and maybe the race just kind of identifies more with feminine pronouns than not in their description. I should
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
So what was it?
Both, actually. But it took us a while to figure that out.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Or testicle.
Somebody's making a killing out there.
Reckon we getting it.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
A few casualties is a small price to pay to stop someone like that.
That's not how I feel,
exactly.
but alright.
I mean, those hostages might be wishing they'd died by now anyway. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Saleon, I want to be there when you find him.
Sure. Winchik, how do you feel about Garrus?
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us.
Michael, what do you think of
They
Rex?
followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
Kinda ugly. That's rude, Omega.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Your sister, I assume?
Until I get home and kill her. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up what's-her-name? T'Soni?
Liara. Why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her. I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her. Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
Omega, how do you feel about Ashley?
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vidmails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods.
Gonna save for a boss fight,
He
guys.
figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known. Cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Bored now.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
He's not a zombie, is he?
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Not everyone's as close to their family as you are.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny, I never really thought about that before. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Nope.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
I have not changed any of the rates at all. Which is really interesting. Unless there were changes to the internal program itself?
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again. So to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take care of.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day, we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
I should go.
See you later.
Alright. So, we got a little bit of time left. About 10 minutes or so. Let's go start Pharos, shall we? We're gonna bring Leonie to that one. Also gonna save my game here. Chip. Winchig, what do you think of Tally? We'll explore the galaxy. I think there's still one more cluster in it. Yeah.
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
I'll take it in the comm room.
I want to take it in the comm room. Alright, we got more dialogue.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
What kind of information?
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
I'm listening.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
I'll look into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
Alright. Omega, what do you think of the Council in this? Hey, good job, Omega. That was a good jump. One jump, one catch. Been practicing. Winchig could learn a thing or two from you. Alright, so that's Therum. Zakros. Zakros is a terrestrial world with a nitrogen methane atmosphere containing trace amounts of hydrocarbons. Its frigid surface is mainly composed of water, ice, and hydrocarbon slush. Most of the surface is not solid enough to support the full weight of a landed ship. If approach is necessary, use shuttles to keep the ship's mass effect envelope up. Armeni. Armeni is a terrestrial world with an unusually thin atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its surface is composed of silica deposits and carbonaceous materials. The initial flyby probe of Armeni detected multiple areas at the equator with oddly regular surface protrusions. Closer investigation revealed that there are these as millions of elaborate crypts of a few meters below the surface, left by long extinct spacefaring species called the Zaoff. Many human universities wish to perform archaeological excavations. Council law holds grave sites as sacrosanct, however, and the matter has been tied up in court for a decade. And the last planet, Arcanes. A small hydrogen-helium gas giant, Arcanes has been developed as a full-featured, if modest, stopover for ships hauling refined materials from Therum. In addition to a powerful magnetic field to dump drive charge, Arcanes has a largely automated infrastructure of helium-3 refining and deuterium mining on its many water ice moons. Gas deposits surveyed. Scans of gas giants have detected a large concentration of nitrogen. Council seems like any other? What are you referring? Alright, let's check out Sparta. We haven't been to Sparta yet. Last one in the Artemis Tau. There's a few planets here. Tremainer. The dwarf planet composed of light magnesium silicates with deposits of aluminum. Its surface is covered by wide swaths of ancient dark basaltic lava, possibly indicating the world was created through an impact with some other body in the system. Strata's magnetic field is non-existent. This makes it impossible for ships to dump drive charge from the orbit. That said, Tremana's minuscule gravity allows even cruiser-sized vessels to land safely for direct grounding. Analyst.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Alright, I guess this is the last thing we're doing today. Edelus is a terrestrial planet with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Edelus' surface is covered by a wide desert of silicate sand and only a few areas of igneous rock highlands to break the abrasive dust-choked wind. Edelus' orbit is congested with debris thrown inwards by the gravity of the gas giant Antamalka. Due to the high rate of meteor impacts, exploration is highly dangerous. Alright, so we're gonna bring Liara and... what else? 14. And Garrus. Alright, so this is gonna be a chance for us to level up Liara and then explore this place a little bit before we're done for today. Alright, I get to level up Shepard because apparently I gotta level here. So, yeah, warp training. There we go. Liara's got 44 points, so we're gonna throw a point into Asari. But what do you guys think her second point should go into? Throw, warp, barrier, or first aid? What are we thinking? Oops, did I put one in? Oh shit, I put one in for. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Help me out here, guys. Should we go throw, warp, barrier, or first aid? Throw? Okay. Reduces recharge time on all biotics by 6%. First aid heals an additional 30 of damage. Reduces recharge time for... Okay. We have mastered Asari scientists, so should we put points into lift, warp, barrier, or first aid? What are we thinking? Lift, warp, barrier, or first aid? First aid? Alright, dudes, thank you. Done. There's first aid. Alright. Should we now invest in lift, warp, barrier, or electronics? What do you think, Omega? Lift, warp, barrier, or electronics? Lift projects a sphere of powerful contragravity. Any object or creature caught in the area effectively lifted into the air. Deuce says electronics? Alright. Alright, dudes. What are we doing next? Lift, warp, or barrier? Ellie? What's Ellie? We're already doing electronics. Barrier. Okay. There we go. That's where she is right now. Elemental Shaman. And Garrus is 4. We were working on assault training and what was the other one we picked for him? I think we just mastered one of his other ones. Alright, so we're going to put points into assault training, and do you guys think we should do decryption or first aid for Garrus? What do you think? I'm thinking maybe decryption, but it's up to you guys. Help me out here. Description. Alright, thanks, Omega. Perfect. Now we gotta equip Liara. Liara uses... I don't even know what she thinks primarily. So. I don't actually know what she uses, though. Pistol? That's pretty much all she uses? Okay. I'll give her a stiletto. You can wear light armor human. Is it better than what she's got? No. Alright. Let's do some exploration. We got a distress signal, an anomaly, and a debris. Alright, so let's go to the debris first. Omega, do you wish that you could, but she often has shotgun out for no reason? Oh, that's reassuring to know. Well, I gave her a good one, so in case she decides to do that. Anyway, Omega, do you find yourself driving up crater walls in real life? Trying to overcome your limitations? Guys, join Omega for the last boss fight of today's stream. Didn't take too long, I don't think. Alright, incendiary rounds and another combat scanner 5. Alright, cool. Alright. See something, so let's go check it out. You're talking about your wife's patience as walls? I mean, it could be anything you want it to mean, but if that's what it means to you, then yes.
Securing point.
Lithium? Excellent, we can make batteries. Alright, let's go up to the anomaly. On the right way-ish. So many meteors. Wonder if you can actually get hit by these. Just randomly I died a meteor strike. Basically what the Thresher Maw was. Mega, do you want a car that can like randomly be able to jump? Mega, if you could drive any sports car, what would it be? And what sport would it play?
I'm on my way.
Alright, what is this? Mummified Solarian. ID tag recovery. You found Captain Millen's identification tag. How it ended up here is impossible to know for sure. A lot of gold for that.
Just lead the way.
Alright, last thing we're gonna do. Go check out the distress beacon. Lamborghini Diablo and soccer. Why soccer? Do you play soccer in real life? Do you wish you were a pro soccer player? Saying, if you could play any sport professionally, which would it be and why? I didn't even know Almagwin had a soccer team. Of course. I'll take it. We won. Goalkeeper in soccer because I was really good at that in high school before you got fat and lazy. That's unfortunate. Alright, well we leveled up, so...
These are Alliance soldiers. It appears they were lured here by the distress beacon.
Looks like these men were under Admiral Kahuku's command. He'd want to know what happened here.
Well, that's unfortunate. But still, we leveled up, so... Go assault training. Yay! Barrier is unlocked. So once we're done leveling up warp... Cool. Alright. Here they are. Okay. Electronics. Go. And Garrus. Ultra. Alright. That's it for this, guys. Let's return to the ship. Save our game, and that's where we're going to be done for today. So. Yeah. Alright, guys. Like I said,